and gentlemen, at this time, we ask you that you please rise if you are able to do so, and remove your hats as we all join.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to beautiful Welland Stadium. My name is Spencer Tangway, and welcome to All in August, where the Jackfish host the visiting London Majors here in another edition of Jackfish Playoff Baseball. Tonight is Game 2 of this best-of-7 series, but before the opening pitch, I'll pause and we'll go downstairs to the field level for a very special presentation.
We'd like to present the Canadian Cancer Society with a check for $1,500. I'd like to say thank you to all the fans who participated and raised the money for childhood cancer. Cops for Cancer, sorry.
As Strikeout for Cancer Day, the Jackfish were able to raise $1,500, an excellent afternoon at baseball a few weekends ago, as a beautiful ceremony before today's opening pitch. It's Game 2 of the postseason and All in August, and the Welland Jackfish welcome the visiting London Majors. I'm Spencer Tangway as we take a look at tonight's umpires. Home plate is Ben Mercier. First base umpire Dave Phillips. Third base is Jeff Rose. Today's starting lineups are proudly presented by the Seaway Mall. The Seaway Mall, just located down the road here from the ballpark. Be sure to visit guest services at Seaway Mall and learn how you can save on Jackfish tickets. For the London Majors tonight, leading off, it is Yasuda, the second baseman. He'll bat first. And then Arteaga will bat second. He'll play shortstop tonight. Ismael Pena will bat third and play left field. The DH, Cleveland Brownlee, will bat in the cleanup spot. Right fielder Byron Reichstein will bat fifth. Mike Ambrose will catch and bat sixth. Justin Williams, of course, the first baseman, a little switch from game one. He moves from third to first. He'll bat seventh. Evan Britt will bat in the eighth spot and play third base tonight. And Miller will be the center fielder tonight and bat ninth. On the mound for the Jackfish tonight, it is Matt Klingersmith. So Klingersmith goes up against the London Majors here in Game 2. Glad you could be a part of this one. I'm Spencer Tangway. We are set to go here on Jackfish TV. The Majors come into this ball game dropping Game 1, a final score of 6-3 on a rainy and delayed Tuesday night. But tonight, 22 degrees, partly cloudy, and the first pitch called upstairs on a ball. This is Yuki Yasuda. Now the 1-0 pitch down the middle, and Klingersmith evens up the count at 1. Klingersmith this season had an ERA of 2.60, but also had a record of 6-1. Of course, one of the go-to pitchers. On another pitch right down Main Street, gets ahead of the count, 1-2. A go-to pitcher for sure for the Jackfish, as he was always in that starting rotation. The 1-2 curveball misses outside, and now it's 2-2. Starting pitcher tonight, Matt Klingersmith will go up against the starting pitcher, Owen Boone. Boone, of course, another go-to guy. So two top pitchers here in game 2 for both these ball clubs. A shot that could get in the gap. Wilson Soriano, the throw to first. Not going to be in time, and it'll slip onto the glove of the first baseman for the Jackfish tonight in Bryce O'Farrell. So Yasuda gets there on the run. It'll be counted as a hit. So now Carlos Artiega, the shortstop, will come up to bat. Good contact from Yasuda to be able to put that deep into the infield and cause Soriano to have some trouble moving that to first. The Majors were able to hit 11 in game 1. 11 hits for the Majors, 10 for the Jackfish in game 1 of this series. This is a series a lot of people expected to see once the standings kind of shuffled out after Hamilton went on such a run late in the regular season. The Cardinals, of course, taking on the Guelph Royals when they won their opening game 11-3 last night. A couple other game 1s going on tonight. As bunt offering showed, Klingersmith not able to get that ball at first base as Bryce O'Farrell had to get it, and a perfectly placed bunt by the Majors have 2 runners aboard early in this ball game. So Artiega exposes the speed of Matt Klingersmith, as that was a perfectly placed bunt between first and second. And now the left fielder, Ismael Pena, comes into bat. Not an ideal start here for the Jackfish in game 2 of this best-of-7 series. Shows bunt again, trying to play small ball. The Jackfish, known for their small ball all season long, stealing over 100 bases. And really stressing teams out with bunts. Jackfish, of course, this season went 19-17, with a lot of those games calling for a couple of bunts, and each one of those wins. Now the 0-1. Pitch is outside, and now it's 1-1. Pena will be followed by Cleveland Brownlee, of course, the big righty and the DH for the London Majors. Brownlee, of course, signing last season with the Majors. And has really made an impact on this London lineup. Been able to crush a lot of balls out of ballparks, but has no hits so far in this series. Now the 1-2. Klingersmith trying to get out of this situation here and get the first out of the ball game. Of course, a strikeout would be the first strikeout of the evening. 5 strikeouts gets everyone in attendance 5 free chicken wings. Compliments of Mama's Boys. So everyone in attendance, of course, wants to see a strike for out number 1. Time is called, though. Now the 1-2. Klingersmith taking his time with Roman and the catcher. Solid contact. Back to 2. A great double play by the Jackfish. Brendan Nicholson, a leaping grab off the line drive over his head, makes the grab and throws it to second, where Wilson Soriano tags up for the double play. An excellent job, an excellent display of defense for the double. And the Jackfish now have only 1 runner on for the Majors with 2 outs here in the top of the first. Now Cleveland Brownlee. Artiega's on first. Checks back at Artiega. A little soft check back to first. Brownlee will be a go-to guy in this series. There's no doubt about that as he swings for the fences on the first offering, but just gets a piece of it and sends it foul. Brownlee, who plays DH for this major lineup, was come in to bring a lot of contact and a lot of depth to the offense and has done just that. Of course, this series featuring two of the biggest ballparks in the IBL. So we're not expecting many home runs, but a lot of hits like that. High fly ball. Von Bryan should be there. He does makes the catch for out number 3. 4 batters come up to bat for the London Majors. They leave one aboard, but score none. We're scoreless through 1/2 inning. We'll go to the bottom of the first. Jackfish and Majors here in Game 2 of the IBL postseason.
For your Welland Jackfish, the second baseman, number 13, Brendan Nicholson.
Bottom of the first we go. It's a scoreless 1/2 inning of baseball. Jackfish taking on the London Majors. The Jackfish up the bat here in the bottom of the first. As we take a look at the batting order and the lineup tonight for the Welland Jackfish, it'll be led off by Brendan Nicholson. Nicholson will play second. He made that tremendous defensive play in the top half of the first. Followed by Brendan Datson. He'll bat second and play right field. Mattingly Romenin, the catcher tonight, bats third. The first baseman, Bryce O'Farrell, will bat cleanup. O'Farrell, what a season he had when he came into play late for the Jackfish. Had a regular season batting average of .333 and was key in a lot of scoring plays for the Jackfish this season. A lot of timely hits. Von Bryan, the left fielder, bats fifth in the lineup. It's his highest spot in the batting order, batting fifth. DeAndre Hasbury-Heath will bat sixth and play center field. The DH, Andrew Mercier, bats seventh. Wilson Soriano bats eighth. And then Pettipies, the third baseman, will bat ninth. Here's Nicholson, though. Nicholson, his first look against Owen Boone in this postseason. Nicholson 1 for 4 on Tuesday night. Takes a line drive. That'll stay fair and go all the way deep to left field. He'll round first, go to 2. And Brandon Nicholson has a leadoff double for the Jackfish in Game 2 of the postseason. What a shot, pulled right down the line. Nicholson put it right by the third baseman of Evan Brett. And now Brendan Datson comes into bat. Datson had a batting average of .321 this season for the Jackfish. Second best on the club, but overall, Datson now. A shot that'll go right to the left fielder. for out number 1, as Pena was there to make the catch.
The catcher, number 8, Mattingly Romanen.
Time is called by the catcher for the Majors, and the catcher tonight is Mike Ambrose, one of the veteran catchers in this league. Calls time as he was talking with the third baseman and the pitcher Owen Boone, trying to get their signal straight. And now they'll face Mattingly Romanen. Romanen batted .294 this season. What a natural swing on Romanen, though. Romanen with 1 on and 1 out. Here's the pitch from Boone. Fastball, that'll get away and go right into the press box. Time is called right into the press box here at Welland Stadium, as I'm sure you had a great look at that one on your camera and your computer at home. That ball narrowly missing us here right behind home plate. So 1 ball, nobody out, and the runner is moved to third, of course. Fastball gets away, but the ball just trickling into the dirt. Boone and Ambrose here, a little bit off pages of sorts, as it's 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out, and 1 ball that went all the way to the press box. First 2 pitches have been fastballs in the dirt. And now Romanen stands in, faces another fastball, but swung on and missed, and falls behind 2-1. This series is going to be a dandy. There's no doubt about that. When the Majors were here just a few weeks ago, a 12-9 battle. That's home run after home run, including one from Mike Ambrose that went deep to right field. There's a shot. That'll keep the runner at third. The throw to first in time for the second out of the half inning. That 12-9 game saw tensions rise between those teams as Mike Ambrose, as I was mentioning, hit that 3-run blast in the top of the 9th to take the lead, and little tensions were heating up between both teams as he's rounded the bases, had some words for the Jackfish dugout. But so far, game number 1 saw no shenanigans. But here we are in game 2, and it's getting interesting already. There's a shot deep to center field. Center fielder drops on the ground but makes the grab. What a grab by Miller in center field for out number 3. The Jackfish leave a runner stranded in the third. They score none. It's 0-0 through 1 complete inning. We'll go to the top of the second. You're listening and watching Jackfish Baseball on Jackfish TV.
off the second inning for the London Majors. Right fielder number 22, Byron Rexon.
So Byron Reichstein will lead things off for the London Majors here in the top half of the second. Glad you could be a part of this one and join us for Game 2 of this Best of 7 series. Be sure to comment where you're watching and who you're cheering for, of course, as the Jackfish are proud to bring you coverage of Game 2. Along with our friends, the London Majors broadcast team is here as well, bringing you free coverage of Jackfish and Major Baseball. There's a shot that narrowly goes foul. Very similar shot that Nicholson offered for the Jackfish just down the opposite foul line. This is Byron Reichstein, the lefty in the batter's box for the Majors. He'll be followed by Mike Ambrose and then Justin Williams that are due up here in the second. Now the 1-1. Off-speed pitch just flutters over home plate. Called strike, 1-2. The 1-2, and the leadoff man is Byron Reichstein here in the top of the second. Nobody out. Strike 3, and Klingersmith puts the first K on the board here on game number 2 on a beautiful Thursday night.
The catcher, number 32, Mike Ambrose.
So Reichstein swinging strike for the opening strikeout, and the first strikeout for Matt Klingersmith, rather. Of course, a reminder, 5 free strikeouts. 5 strikeouts gets 5 free chicken wings for everyone in attendance. As there's a shot off the bat of Mike Ambrose that goes foul over the press box. The 1-1, 1 out. As this is Mike Ambrose. Ambrose in game 1 went 1 for 3. Of course, batting .333. Klingersmith taking his time here to find the pitch that'll work against Mike Ambrose. Another off-speed pitch down the middle, strike 2. Klingersmith stands on that mound 6'6". Has such a long reach on him and has so many good pitches to offer. Now the pitch, high fly ball, shallow center field. DeAndre Asbury-Heath moving under it. The right fielder, though, Brendan Datson there to make the catch for out number 2. If you follow the Jackfish and you recall, Brendan Datson has been a player that has played around the diamond and in the outfield. Datson spent time third base, went over to first for a very long time, was the go-to first baseman for a while, and now is out in right field as Furistake went back to school. So Furistake not in the postseason lineup for the Jackfish as he went back to school and back to collegiate baseball. So he moves out into right field, and that moves the infield around a little bit as Bryce O'Farrell, who's normally a DH hitter, will take over at first base. And that allows Romanin to catch. There's a shot off the end of the bat. Not a lot of distance under it. The left fielder, Von Bryan, drops the ball. The throw to second, though. Is it in time? Yes, it is. Out number 3. Good recovery by Von Bryan and DeAndre Asbury-Heath to be able to get that ball to second. Out number 3. And we will go to the bottom half of the second. It's 0-0. Going to the bottom of the second. Jackfish due up the back next here on Jackfish TV. Bottom of the second we go, and it'll be led off by Vaughn Bryan. And what a play he made in the outfield. Vaughn Bryan swings the first pitch. Could stay fair, but it's leaking to the right, and it goes foul. So he'll come back to the batter's box. A shot off the bat of Williams that Vaughn Bryan struggled with in the outfield, but he was able to turn it to second in time and get Williams, who was late running to second. The Jackfish won the season series between the majors 3-2, where the last regular season meeting we talked about, it was a 12-9 decision in favor of the London Majors. All other wins, though, for the Jackfish have been blowouts. A 12-1 win in London and a 9-1 win right here on the opening day. Now the 1-1 fastball. Great offering from Owen Boone. Good heat on that fastball. And Boone's ahead 1-2. Boone, arguably one of their best starters in this rotation. He's only thrown 13 pitches, 8 of them have been strikes. As that one misses downstairs, 2-2. Two righties in today's game. Boone going against Klinger Smith. Now the 2-2 to Vaughn Bryan. Vaughn Bryan, of course, brought in. Back from the Burlington Herd. Breaking ball gets him to swing for out number 1 here in the bottom of the second.
Center fielder, number 2, DeAndre Asbury Heath.
So now the center fielder, DeAndre Asbury Heath, steps into the batter's box for the first time tonight. DeAndre this season batted .271, had a few home runs, including one against the majors. That pitch well inside, backs him off the plate. DeAndre, of course, prospect of the St. Louis Cardinals, all the way from Columbia, South Carolina, and has loved every moment of playing here in Welland. Has just loved being a part of this team, and we talked to him on Behind the Scales so many times. And he eats up the attention, loves being a fan favorite, loves being with the kids on the field. Spent a lot of time, was at every single one of the activities they did in the 2 weeks of kids camps here in July. Just a role model for a lot of youth baseball players. Count 2-1 as DeAndre caught swinging on that last fastball. 2-1, 1 out. Mercier will follow, and then Soriano. That outside, and DeAndre Asbury Heath gets ahead 3-1. Mercier will be the DH man for the Jackfish tonight. He bats .274 in the regular season. Really started to turn it on as of late. Just in time for the postseason to get his bat going. Now the 3-1. Great pitch down the middle on the fastball, 3-2. Boone already has 1 strikeout in tonight's ball game. This would be number 2. As here's the deciding pitch, the 3-2 with 1 out. Little mixed signals here between Boone and Ambrose. Boone didn't like the pitch, and now he's set to go on the 3-2. Fastball downstairs, and that'll be his first walk of the evening. And DeAndre Asbury Heath's aboard.
The designated hitter, number 26, Andrew Mercier.
So now the DH, Andrew Mercier. Mercier, known for his bat selection, is, of course, sported the pink bat for cancer, the traditional wood, and now a very bright green bat. Swings the first pitch on the ground. Could be a double play. Over to 2 for 1. The throw to first easily in time, as Mercier not able to get there in time, and the Jackfish go up in order on the double play. Scoreless through 2 complete. We'll go to the top of the third. Jackfish and Majors. You're watching live coverage of Game 2 here on Jackfish TV.
With tonight's fan of the game presented by Blue Star.
Matt Klingersmith set to go for the Jackfish here in the top of the third. Second pitch drove to center field. DeAndre Asbury Heath back, makes the catch for the opening out here in the top half of the third.
The center fielder, number 13, Miles Miller.
So now we're at the bottom of the order as Britt is retired on a fly out to the center fielder, DeAndre Asbury Heath. This is Miles Miller now. Good off-speed pitch on the outside corner of the plate. And it's 0-1. There's a shot that could get down. DeAndre Asbury Heath on the run, makes the diving catch for the second out, and back-to-back excellent efforts from the outfielders. DeAndre Asbury Heath here in the third. It was Von Bryan in the second. And they go up two up, two down.
The second baseman, number 12, Yuki Yasuda.
Miller, who went 4 for 4 with 4 singles back in game 1, sends an excellent shot to center field, but he was just bested by DeAndre Asbury Heath making that Superman-like dive. Two outs, and only a few pitches in here in the top of the third. Shows bunt, pulls back, strike one. Oh, 0-1 with 2 outs. This is Yuki Yasuda. Lets it go past him with a breaking ball, 0-2. Yasuda, the Japanese player, has one of the more unique stances in the batter's box, but such a quick swing. Now the 0-2. Lets it go outside off the outside corner of the plate. 1-2. Klingersmith, when his fastball is on, he's able to control the zone really well. That one just missed the outside. Able to jam him up in the batter's box. Klingersmith gets there in time. And the Jackfish force the Majors to go a 3 up, 3 down in the third. We'll go to the bottom half of the third inning. Jackfish keep the Majors scoreless. We're up to bat next. You're watching Jackfish Baseball on Jackfish TV. I have things fixed.
The Welland Jackfish. Shortstop number 1, Wilson Soriano.
Bottom half of the third inning we go. Scoreless so far through 2.5. The Jackfish will lead things off with Wilson Soriano. Soriano takes a pitch downstairs and gets ahead 1-0. Soriano faces Owen Boone. Of course, Owen Boone, an excellent start so far in this game as well. That fastball downstairs in the dirt misses. We're experiencing a little technical difficulties. We've been informed no sound. We're trying to fix that as soon as possible. Two balls, no strikes, nobody out for Wilson Soriano, the leadoff man, as the lights come on. Here's the Welland Stadium. That in the dirt as well, 3-0. Boone struggling here against Wilson Soriano. First 3 pitches in the dirt, 3 straight balls. Now the 3-0. Good heater inside, moves Soriano back off the plate. Strike 1. Now the 3-1 misses outside, and Soriano will take his base. Soriano walks and goes to first base, and that'll bring up Nolan Pettipies. Pettipies, who batted .280 this season, shows bunt right away. Hop fly, What a diving grab. Ambrose, runners going to second, though. Soriano dives in, and he'll slide into second. But what a play by Mike Ambrose. This has been a defensive specialist game all night so far. As DeAndre Asbury-Heath thought he made a great Superman catch, but he just gave a nice little tribute and a nice little clap to Mike Ambrose for the majors. What a grab by Ambrose. A 2-foot dive all the way, pretty much down the walk-up dirt for that one. Excellent catch, but Soriano is able to go all the way to second. So one out now for the Jackfish, as this is the top of the order, Brandon Nicholson. Back to second, in time. Yuki Yasuda, little frustration, jumping up and down, thought he had it as that was close to second base. The throw not in time. Soriano will wait at second as that high fly ball, and a better arm from the center fielder. Good arm of Miles Miller to keep Soriano at second. And now the Jackfish have 2 outs here in the bottom half of the third.
The right fielder, number 5, Brendan Datson.
Datson will bat with Soriano on second. The Jackfish trying to break the goose egg here against the London Majors in a game that has been a defensive show. Game 2, in which Game 1 saw 6-3 in favor of the Jackfish. Umpires coming into play in that one, everyone keeps saying. But so far, it's been the defense who's been the storyline of this game. Who's going to make a mistake first? The pitching battle has been excellent on both sides. Owen Boone will go up against Datson. Datson, who batted .321 in the regular season, had a lot of RBIs. Fastball upstairs, misses 2-0. Two outs, though. Soriano, of course, will be going on contact at second. Checks back. Pitcher taking his time will step off the mound. Little action in the bullpen of the London Majors as a righty is warming up. Just getting loose and throwing a few balls. Nothing serious, though. No signs of any change yet. Datson sends one off the end of the bat, way foul. Datson will be followed by Mattingly Roman, the catcher, who's warming up in the on-deck circle. Bryce O'Fair to follow. This is Datson's second trip to the batter's box here tonight. The 2-1 with 2 outs. Soriano, little lead off at second. There's a shot. Could get down, gets down. Soriano's being waved around to home. The Jackfish will score the opening run in today's ballgame. Now the play at second. No throw. As the Jackfish open the scoring and lead 1-0 in Game 2. Brandon Datson, a great shot that gets under the glove of the third baseman, Evan Britt. So 1-0 lead for the home side here in Game 2. Jackfish won the opening game 6-3 and now have a chance with 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the third, runner in scoring position again. This is Mattingly Romanen for the Fish. Romanen takes a look at the first pitch, but sends it foul back into the parking lot. For a team that couldn't put up 5 hits 3 consecutive games in the regular season, late in the regular season, they've really started to find their groove in the batter's box and looking a lot more confident 1 through 9 when they come up to bat. Romanen, who swung at the first pitch, had a very confident swing, just a tad late. That pitch, good block, able to keep it in front of him, was Ambrose, and that keeps Datsun rather, at second base. Now with Fury Stake out of the lineup, of course, and Mercier coming in, they sacrifice speed for a lot of hitting power. As Fury Stake, of course, would be this guy in the batting order who really likes to steal bases. There's a shot. Line drive, fouled away. And he falls behind, 1-2. The Jackfish have scored first in 21 of their 36 regular season games so far. They were able to win 17 of them. Now the 1-2, a 2 away. Upstairs, the throw to second. That's going to be called safe at second. As the throw, a little late, and not a lot of power for Mike Ambrose at home plate. Two's lit up across the board here in Game 2. It's 1-0 Welland. Glad you could be a part of this one. I'm Spencer Tangway. He's set to grab his side. Now the offering with the 2-2. Downstairs, misses, 3-2. Bryce O'Farrell is due up, and he's been a go-to hitter for sure for the Jackfish. Batted .333 in the season and was nearly over .400 in the month of July. There's a shot off the end of the bat. Good work and excellent consistency from Romanen to be able to outwork Owen Boone here and stay alive in this at-bat. Got to thank Brent Colomb, who stepped in, of course, for me in Game 1. As the Jackfish were able to take that game 6-3. Now the 2-2. High fly ball to the moon and back. Shallow infield. Artiega's there to make the catch, and that will retire the side. The Jackfish leave one stranded, but they put one on the board. It's a 1-0 Welland lead. We'll go to the top of the fourth. The Majors trying to climb back into this one here on a beautiful Thursday night of Jackfish baseball.
for the London Majors. Number 97, the shortstop, Carlos Artiega.
Top of the fourth we go. The Jackfish have the only run of the ball game, and that came in the last half inning. This is the shortstop, Carlos Artiega. Artiega batting second this evening for the London Majors. Of course, the Jackfish trying to win their inaugural championship here in Welland, but in order to do that, they had to win their first ever playoff game. That is completed. 3 more wins, and it'll be the first Jackfish postseason series win. And they got to win this one and have to get through the majors to do that. Glad you could be a part of this as we bring you live coverage of Jackfish baseball all season long, including the race for the Dominico Cup. Now the 3-0. Klinger Smith catches the top part of the plate as Artiega was already planning on walking to first. Klinger Smith, 1 strikeout so far. Came into the ballgame with an ERA of 2.60. Gets him to swing, and he foul tips it away. The count 3-2. 2 other games in the IBL happening tonight. Game 1's in Barrie and Game 1's in Kitchener. The only other game last night, Hamilton on top of Guelph, 11-3. There's a shot. Good contact from Artiega. DeAndre Asbury Heat, though, on the run and makes the catch. And retires Artiega.
Left fielder, number 29, Ismael Pena.
So now Ismael Pena will bat for the London Majors. They go from one of the smallest batters in the league to one of the biggest, as Artiega listed under 5'8", whereas Ismael Pena, 6'5". Great changeup, beautiful pitch down the middle, and he takes it and gets up 0-1. Now the 0-1 with 1 out. There's the same pitch. That'll drop for a single in the gap. Good contact from Ismael Pena, and he's aboard with a single.
The designated hitter, number 35, Cleveland Brownlee.
So now the DH in Cleveland, Brownlee. Brownlee's 0 for 1 in the ball game. There's a shot, great contact, that'll move the runners. Swings at the first pitch, and it's a single to the left field, and now Pena on second, and Brownlee on first base. This is what the majors have done to the Jackfish and to a lot of teams all season long, and it's simple base hits. When your batting order is really offensive 1 through 9, you're able to move the base runners along and score a lot of runs. That's something the Jackfish have been unable to do, and they've won a lot of low-scoring games. Of course, the Jackfish defense, though, they've been able to put on a show so far in this series and all year. You talk to the ownership and the coaching staff and Brian Esri about the defense, and this team is put together professionally. They only took players that wanted to be in a professional organization. And they wanted to grow as a team and get players who knew their role. There's an off-speed pitch that misses outside. He falls behind in the count, 2-0. And you talk about a professional, and Matt Klinger Smith, one of the older players on this lineup, who, by the way, I'm sure we have to say congratulations to one more time. He had a baby. Him and his wife delivered a baby not that long ago. Was able to join the team just at the end of the regular season. And I know he was itching to get back into the rotation and make sure he was here for the first round against London. But congratulations to the Klinger-Smith family. Now the 3-0. Brownlee looked as if he was going to go. Missed 4 straight balls will load the bases with 1 out for the Majors. And that'll bring up Mike Ambrose, the catcher. Good time to remind you that Game 3 of this series is scheduled for tomorrow night. It's a 7:35 opening pitch in London. That game, of course, will be on Majors TV. 7:35 opening pitch tomorrow night, Game 3 from Labatt Park. Game 4 also in London. That's a 1 o'clock opening pitch on Sunday. Game 5, if necessary, back here on Tuesday. Bases loaded. Mike Ambrose and the London Majors here in the top half of the 4th. Klingersmith misses outside. Klingersmith, who had 3 excellent innings, now in a little bit of trouble here. A walk and 2 singles to start things off here with only 1 out. Ambrose, that wide open stance. That pitch misses downstairs. Ambrose in the batter's box, a really wide open stance, gets a good look at a lot of pitches. And teases pitchers to come inside. Now the 2-0. Way outside, 3-0. Not what you want if you're Matt Klingersmith and the Welland Jackfish here. A ball away from tying this ball game. Of course, doesn't take a swing, but it's down the middle for a strike. Good offering from Klingersmith. Gets the crowd back on its side, 3-1. Bases loaded for Mike Ambrose. He's ahead in the count, 3-1 with 1 out. Now the pitch. A shot. DeAndre Asbury Heath. He's there at center. Makes the catch. The run coming in from third. That'll tie the ball game. So it's a 1-1 game. 2 outs on the board, though, here in the top half of the 4th. And the Majors have a runner on first and second.
First baseman, number 37, Josh Williams.
So 1-1. Josh Williams is now due up for the London Majors, the lefty, on a sac fly from Mike Ambrose that tied the game. Just good contact and good hitting again by the Majors. Very simple baseball, but effective. Swing and a miss. Tried to send that one deep. Missed. The ball went right below his bat, and now it's 0-1. Here's the 0-1, 2 outs. Upstairs and away, 1-1. Williams, who went 1 for 3 in game 1. Oh for 1 today. Just grabs his side. Here's the pitch. Called strike, 1-2. Klingersmith looking for his second strikeout of the ball game. As we take a look at the strikeout count, brought to you by Mama's Boys. 5 strikeouts, 5 free chicken wings. Now the 1-2, 2 outs. Ball had a little movement on it outside, 2-2. The Jackfish have to keep the Majors out of the batter's box as much as possible. And pitches like that, of course, are going to happen. Got to be able to pitch them away. Now the 2-2. Holds a swing. The crowd wanted the strike. Umpire, though, says it missed outside. 3-2. Three and two, 2 outs. The deciding pitch here in the top half of the 4th. They've already scored 1. This is Josh Williams with Evan Britt on deck. Time's called. Set to go. He grabs his side. The 3-2 offering. Runners going. A shot off the end of the bat. DeAndre Asbury Heath moves under it, makes the catch, and retires the side. They leave 2 aboard, but they're able to tie the ball game at 1. This series is going to be a dandy. Don't you go anywhere. It's 1-1 heading to the bottom of the 4th. You're watching Jackfish Baseball on Jackfish TV.
Welland Jackfish. First baseman number 23, Bryce O'Farrell.
Bottom of the 4th we go. Bryce O'Farrell will lead things off for the Welland Jackfish. The Majors hit around the Jackfish in that top half of the 4th. They're able to score 1, but they left 2 runners aboard. So the top half of the order did its job for the Majors and tied the ball game. Bryce O'Farrell, though, one of the go-to hitters for the Jackfish, bats .333 this season. His brother Reese, also a part of this organization. And earlier in the year, when we first were trying to figure out Bryce and Reese, and they were in and out of the lineup, it was an absolute mess. As one was 23, one was 24, and they both were spending time in left field before Von Bryan joined the club back in late June. But now Bryce slots in, and he's the number 23 for the Jackfish, of course. And the righty, there's a shot that's going to get down. O'Farrell has a lot of speed, but he will backpedal his way to first, and Bryce O'Farrell has a leadoff single for the Fish. First pitch misses outside, ball 1. This is Von Bryan, and of course Von Bryan, the IBL All-Star. An excellent addition to this lineup. Bryan, who fouled it away, falls behind 1-1. He's got such a natural but powerful swing. He's not only known for, of course, for his excellent defensive plays and his speed, when he makes contact and he's able to be very effective in the batter's box, he's one of those players you really have to watch out for, and pitchers fear they got to pitch around him. As he's slotted 5th in the middle of the batting order, followed by 2 excellent hitters, those of DeAndre Asbury-Heath and Andrew Mercier. So, of course, this part of the order is the deadliest, I feel, for the Welland Jackfish as of late. Nicholson and Datsun, who go 1-2, are probably the most consistent batters. But when these batters are on here in the 3, 4, 5, 6 slots, the Jackfish do their damage. Nicholson and Datsun, of course, both were able to steal a lot of bases. Fierstake, we mentioned, left the team and not on the postseason roster. He left to go back to his school, where he starts collegiate ball. There's a hit by Vaughn Bryan. That'll get down in front of the right fielder. Moves the bases, and just like the London Majors did in the 4th, the Jackfish open up the 4th inning with a runner on 1st and 2nd.
The center fielder, number 2, DeAndre Asbury-Heath.
Brian Esri, the field manager, knew this team like the back of his hand, and he knew this team for 3 things. He mentioned speed, defense, and pitching. He's trying to find the 4th and complete the unit, and that was hitting. And once again, the Jackfish are proving as of late, this Welland Jackfish team is legit. You can never count out the fish. Back-to-back hits here in the bottom half of the 4th, and that'll bring up DeAndre Asbury-Heath. A lot of the players today getting here before 4 o'clock on the field, stretching out. And then when they took batting practice, spending a little extra time in the bubble, getting a few more swings in as it's postseason. Great bunt by DeAndre Asbury-Heath. That'll move the runners. A perfectly placed bunt. And the Jackfish load the bases here in the 4th. It's a 1-1 ball game, and the Jackfish are all aboard.
Designated hitter, number 26, Andrew Mercier.
The DH, Andrew Mercier, steps into the batter's box now. Mercier, who batted .274 in the regular season, unable to hit a home run here. But what bittersweet it would be, and what little revenge it would be, to hit one against his former ball club. The Majors let Andrew Mercier go after last season, and the Jackfish picked him up. Coming from the Majors to the Welland Jackfish, he's a player that, in true IBL spirit, puts on a lot of miles. Drives down the 401 and the QEW to get here every single game. Has his family back in London, but spends a lot of time with his family with the Jackfish. There's a ground ball. Trouble. The throw to first. They'll get the runner out at first, but the Jackfish will score a run as Bryce O'Farrell comes across the plate from 3rd and makes a 2-1 game.
Shortstop, number 1, Wilson Soriano.
So the Jackfish trade runs for outs as Mercier is retired on the ground ball out to first, but O'Farrell is able to come in and score. So the runners move over 2nd and 3rd. First base is vacant now. A ground ball. That'll keep the runners at bay at 2nd and 3rd as Wilson Soriano. A poke off the end of the bat, but not a lot of power. And he's out at first, so 2 outs. Jackfish 2-1 lead, and that'll bring up the 3rd baseman of Nolan Pettipies. The fans very anxious here in Welland for another win, of course, as the Jackfish and Welland fans haven't seen IBL baseball in a long time and haven't seen competitive pro baseball. Back, of course, in the mid-90s when the Welland Pirates were here. The 2 senior men's competitive teams, the Chiefs and the Thorns, play baseball here in the summertime. But nothing has really grown on to this like the Jackfish. A great crowd on hand. Tuesday night saw nearly over 400 people in attendance. Weather, though, keeping a lot at home as it was a very windy and a delayful game as a couple times the game was delayed due to lightning. But tonight, a clear night. It rained earlier in the day, but the rain and the clouds have gone away. And the Jackfish Majors here in a 2-1 ball game in game 2. 2-1 the count. This is the righty Nolan Pettipies. Deep shot. That'll stay fair. That'll score a run. That'll score 2 for the Jackfish. Pettipies rounding first. He's going to go to second. It's a 2-run RBI double. The Jackfish take a 4-1 lead.
Second baseman, number 13, Brandon Nicholson.
So 10 hits in game 1, and the Jackfish are well on their way to exceeding that number already here in game 2. An excellent swing by Nolan Pettipies. Scores 2, and he's on base with a 2-run double. So now back to the top of the order. 2 outs for Brandon Nicholson. Has Pettipies on second. Called strike. 0-1. Pettipies jumps back to the base, and now he'll have a good lead off on second. Artiega, the shortstop. And Yasuda, the second baseman, well away from him. We'll pitch straight up here. Good block by Ambrose to keep that in front of him. 1-1. The Majors have really had a tough time here at the ballpark, except that 12-9 win, where they were able to come out victorious, but the Jackfish were able to put up 9 runs in that ball game. Jackfish, only a handful of games they ever put up more than 7 runs. So 2-1, 2 outs. And if the Jackfish, of course, they put up 9 runs, that should normally be a win, but of a couple of errors and defensive blips that night allowed London to walk away with the 12-9 victory. Strike 2 called on the inside pitch, and now Painkiller on the board. 2 is across the board. 2 outs, 2 balls, 2 strikes for Nicholson. Grabs his side, and he's set to go here on the 2-2. Outside high, 3-2. Dadson stretching, and he's due up on the on deck circle with Mattingly Romanen to follow. Jackfish cash in 3 here to the Majors 1 in the 4th. Here's the deciding pitch of the 3-2 with 2 outs. Runner going, fouled it away, and that'll send Pettipies back to second base. Pettipies, such a quick and huge stride on him, though, was nearly at third before the pitch got to home plate. Three and 2. Owen Boone in a little bit of a jam here. He's already given up 4 runs in the ball game, 1 in the 3rd, 3 in the 4th, and now he has a runner on second. Upstairs, and that'll be another walk, and that'll allow Brendan Dadson to come and bat here in the 4th.
Right fielder, number 5, Brendan Dadson.
Two-out situation for Brandon Dadson. First pitch downstairs, misses, ball 1. Boone's miss today has been definitely downstairs in the dirt. He's pulling his fastballs downstairs. One of his fastballs actually off home plate and nearly killed the PA announcer, Will Morrison. Now the 1-1. Dadson's 1 for 2 in today's ball game. He came in 0 for 3 in the opening game of this series. So 1 for 5 in the series. Has 2 RBIs, though. Swings at that pitch, but he's late. Fouls it away, and he falls behind 1-2. 1-2 to Dadson. Boone trying to get out of this inning. Jackfish, they have 2 runners on, a runner on first and second with 2 outs. Fastball again. Late just a tad, and he slices it foul, but keeps the at-bat alive. Scoreboard watching tonight. The 2 higher seeds are respectfully up in their game. Barry and Kitchener both winning. Barry all over Brantford tonight. Fouled it back again, and the at-bat continues. Very confident swing by Dadson, and this is nothing but good news for Brian Ezery and his club downstairs for the Welland Jackfish. If they can keep getting bats on balls and make contact, it's something they haven't been able to do all season long. Just outwork pitchers, able to get some bats on balls and really earn your keep here in the IBL. Got to be able to hit with the big boys. Pitch upstairs, gets him to throw a strike inside, but this time well upstairs, no strike, ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Dadson trying to outwork Owen Boone. Now the offering. Upstairs once again. And Boone getting away from his go-to fastball downstairs pitch. And it's a full count. Here, keeping this inning alive is Dadson. The 3-2 with 2 outs. At a very long at bat for Brendan Dadson. The deciding pitch. Runners going. Downstairs, take your base. And Brandon Dadson does what he does best. Able to get the Jackfish another batter. And he'll take a walk and load the bases. Little mound visit here for the London Majors, as their pitching coach will come out and have a word with Owen Boone, as well as the catcher, Mike Ambrose. Second time tonight, the Jackfish have the bases loaded. So now the 26-year-old Mattingly Romanen. First pitch, fastball down the middle. Romanen, who spent his collegiate ball at Chicago State, played collegiate ball back in 2013, and he had an excellent NCAA career. Batting average in his 3 years at Chicago State, over 300. And you look at his batting average here in the IBL, 294 this regular season, so very consistent batter. Falls behind 0-2, though. Downstairs, 1-2. Romanen, of course, the Burlington, Ontario native. So just from downtown Burlington and down the QEW. A shot that could score. It does, as Romanen gets the first in time, and that brings home Pettipies. The Jackfish keep it rolling, and now they lead 5-1.
The first baseman, number 23, Bryce O'Farrell.
So now another Burlington, Ontario native, Bryce O'Farrell, will step in. If you're just joining us, bases loaded for the Jackfish here in the 4th. They've been able to score 4 in the bottom half of the 4th, and they lead 5-1. Jackfish took the opener of this series 6-3, and they lead this one 5-1 here in the bottom of the 4th. That's swung on by O'Farrell, fouled away. Be sure to follow the Welland Jackfish and the IBL on all social media platforms for up-to-date standings and up-to-date stories on our feature players. And to learn more about your favorite player by logging on to the official website of the Welland Jackfish at www.wellandjackfish.com, where you can find out our future broadcast schedule, as we will broadcast all home games in the first round and try to bring you live coverage of all postseason games going forward. But we can confirm all home games for sure, and we'll try to bring you away games as much as possible going forward. This weekend out of the question. However, if the second round is a thing for the Jackfish this season, there's a shot by O'Farrell, though, off the end of the bat, directly on a line to the left fielder. The Jackfish put up 4. They leave 3 aboard. It's 5-1 Fish. The kids will come on to run the bases as the Jackfish head into the dugout. We'll go to the top of the 5th. Jackfish lead 5-1.
For London, third baseman number 45, Evan Britt.
So now Evan Britt will try to muster up a comeback here for the London Majors. They drop game 1 6-3. They trail 5-1 here in game 2. There's a shot off the end of the bat to the second baseman. Across to O'Farrell in time. And the Jackfish retire Britt on the opening pitch.
Center fielder number 13, Miles Miller.
Game 3 and 4 of the series are set to go this weekend in London at Labatt Park. Game 3 is tomorrow night, 7:35 opening pitch. Game 4 is Sunday. It's an afternoon game, also at Labatt Park. That game can be seen on Majors TV. Be sure to stay up to date with everything Jackfish. Klingersmith, a nasty curveball inside for strike 1. This is Miles Miller. Miles led the way for the London Majors in game 1. He went 4 for 4, but is 0 for 1 in today's ball game. Broken bat, the ball goes foul, and half the bat goes towards the first baseman, Bryce O'Farrell. Miller will have to get a new piece of lumber and come back to face Matt Klinger-Smith on an 0-2 count. So a new bat is in hand, and Miles Miller's set to go here for the London Majors. You don't see that many broken bats in the IBL, but every now and then, a couple bats explode, and that one exploded to several smithereens and pieces. So Klinger-Smith continues the roll here, set to go against Miles Miller. He's ahead in the count, 0-2. Fastball misses just outside of the plate for a ball. Young expected to pitch this weekend. And then a bullpen day as Von Bryan slipped in the outfield. The throw into second won't be in time. As before we could even look up, Von Bryan was already slipped in the dirt in the outfield. Slipped on some outfield grass. And that'll allow a double from Miles Miller. So Yuki Yasuda and the leadoff man will come up to bat for the London Majors. Chance for them to get back in this ball game. They trail 5-1. They have a one-out situation here. Miles Miller is the base runner on second. Yasuda has that low stance. Takes the first pitch, strike one. Tough to judge Yuki Yasuda on his powers. He's one of those smaller hitters, but when he comes around and makes contact, he's really been able to make good swings and been able to poke a ball deep into the outfield. Yasuda gets a piece of it, fouls it away. That ball just ever so slightly caught a piece of the lumber. Jackfish ahead in the count, 0-2. Miles Miller, it's a big lead off at second. Klinger-Smith, time is called as he was literally in motion of throwing it to Mattingly Romanen. Late time called by Ben Mercier. (0-2) with one out. Yasuda will be followed by Arteaga. There's a shot. That'll get down right in front of DeAndre Asbury Heath. Miller's waved around to home. He's going to score. It'll make it a 5-2 game. So the Majors put one on the board here in the top of the fifth on an RBI single from Yuki Yasuda. And that's what I was talking about. Good contact by Yasuda. Just such a small swing, but has a lot of power. Got right over the head of the shortstop of Soriano and fell right in front of DeAndre Asbury Heath. Yasuda, of course, not a player that's going to hit you a home run here at this ballpark, but can score runs just like that on an RBI single. So now Carlos Arteaga, the shortstop. Runner going, Yasuda on the move. A speedster, that throw not in time as it's behind the runner. And Yasuda able to steal second base, and he's in scoring position. Good speed from Yasuda to steal second base, and the Majors have a little bit of momentum here going into the later half of this ball game. We're in the top of the fifth. They've scored one and have a runner in scoring position. Klinger-Smith, the offering is outside. 1-1 the count. Klinger-Smith has a record of 6-1, and he's beat the London Majors once already this season. His ERA was 2.6 coming into the ballgame. Very respectable pitcher, and he's a leader on this franchise and ball club. A lot of pitchers look up to him. There's a shallow shot. Catch is made by Nicholson. And now the Jackfish have 2 down here in the top of the 5th. Klingersmith, who's also coached and a coach of NCCC when he coaches in collegiate, was able to bring Christian Young aboard for the Welland Jackfish. Young, who pitched for Klingersmith in collegiate and in college ball. But this is why Matt Klingersmith is such a good pitcher. He knows how to handle his situations and keep calm under pressure. Good breaking ball inside, strike 1. Klingersmith, not really known for his power, but he's known for his versatility, able to pitch anywhere against anyone. Now the 0-1 goes to his fastball, but misses outside the plate. This is Ismael Pena. Pena has Cleveland Brownlee, the DH, up next to bat behind him. But there's 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Jackfish lead 5-2. This is one of the keys to victories for the Jackfish, is being able to pitch around this part of the order. Off-speed pitch, looked good, but just missed. So the count improves for the Majors to 2-1. Very similar ballpark in London, which will see a very similar game style by both these clubs. Whereas, of course, you play in Toronto, got to swing the bat, as it's such a small ballpark. There's a shot. That'll get through the gap. That'll score a run. Yasuda will fly around third and come in to score. The Majors cash in 2 now in the 5th, and they're back in this one. It's 5-3 for the Jackfish. Just simple baseball.
Designated hitter number 35,
Cleveland Brownlee will have to hold on here as the field manager, Brian Esri, will come out for a mound visit to talk to Matt Klingersmith. Another reminder, Game 3 of this series is set tomorrow night. It's a 7:35 opening pitch from Labatt Park. That game can be seen on Majors TV. Also, Game 4, also on Majors TV. That is a 1 o'clock start on Sunday. So the Jackfish will go Friday, Sunday. Christian Young expected to go tomorrow. No pitcher announced for Sunday. As it could quite possibly be Rich Carante. Carante not expected to pitch in today. He's out coaching first base for the Jackfish tonight. 2-out situation, and the Majors have a runner on first. They've clawed their way back and have a 5-3 score now. The Jackfish up by 2. This is the DH, Cleveland Brownlee. Brownlee, check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. Dave Phillips, the first base umpire tonight, had a good look at that one. I think Brownlee knew he went as he kind of jumped out of his shoes at that pitch. Brownlee steps back into the batter's box, composed himself here, 0-1. The 0-1 with 2 outs. Fastball right down the middle. Brownlee couldn't believe he let it go by him. Wanted the pitch a little higher, I think. Now the 0-2. Looking for another strikeout, of course. 5 free chicken wings for everyone in attendance if Klingersmith can get 5 strikeouts tonight. That one well outside, as that ball had a lot of movement on it. But dropped well outside the plate, 1-2. A strikeout would end the half of the inning, and we go to the bottom of the 5th. Majors did a great job to come all the way back. They only trail 5-3 now here in the 5th. Now the pitch. High fly ball. DeAndre Asbury Heath calling everybody off. He makes the catch, and that retires the side. The Welland Jackfish have a 5-3 lead, but the Majors put up 2 in the 5th. We'll go to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Jackfish 5, Majors 3. You're watching live coverage of postseason baseball here in the race for the Domenico Cup. So we apologize here as we switch out the batteries. Vaughn Bryant swings at the first pitch for the Jackfish. It'll be easily caught by the right fielder of Byron Reichstein. So Reichstein retires Vaughn Bryant, and the Jackfish have 1 out. We'll change the battery in the camera, and we'll get that set for you. We do apologize again.
Number 2, DeAndre Asbury Heath.
But be sure to turn on your volume and, of course, and stay up to date with tonight's ball game. We thank you for joining us on YouTube. Be sure to comment where you're watching from and who you're rooting for. The Jackfish support the IBL streaming Jackfish baseball and Major Baseball as we try to bring you live coverage of every IBL game. One out. This is DeAndre Asbury Heath stepping into the batter's box. First pitch, a fastball that comes inside the plate, strike 1. Right back to that same spot, but misses downstairs, 1-1. One and one with 1 out. Owen Boone continues to work here for the London Majors. Fastball. Third consecutive fastball inside. Trying to pitch DeAndre Asbury Heath inside. He has that long reach in the batter's box. He's able to put a lot of balls anywhere across the outfield. Not one of those batters that just pulls it to left field. There's a shot that goes right over the pitcher's head of Owen Boone. That'll drop in shallow center field, and DeAndre Asbury Heath is aboard with a single.
Designated hitter number 26, Andrew Mercier.
So Mercier goes through his pre-batting routine, steps into the batter's box with DeAndre Asbury-Heath aboard on first. Boone set to pitch against Mercier. Mercier swings to the first pitch. Right to the center fielder, though. And it's caught by Miles Miller.
Shortstop number 1, Wilson Soriano.
So that brings up the shortstop, Wilson Soriano. 2 outs here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Jackfish lead 5-3 in game 2. This is the series everyone expected to be a series that would go the distance. Runner going, DeAndre Asbury-Heath. It's a good throw, not in time. DeAndre Asbury-Heath slides under the tag from Arteaga. So runner in scoring position. The Jackfish add another stolen base. They led the league this year by nearly 60 stolen bases. Swung on and fouled away. Wilson Soriano didn't want that one as that pitch was well outside. Frustrated himself for taking a swing. Soriano, such a vibrant attitude to this lineup. Brings a lot of attitude. Brings a lot of confidence every time he steps onto the field. Also, when he was on Behind the Scales, he did mention rings are coming to this city. As he swings for the fences, trying to send that one to the scoreboard, but misses. And now he's behind the count, 1-2. Soriano, one of the first ever imports the Jackfish brought in from the Dominican Republic. 1-2, 2 gone. The Majors, who are also trailing the Jackfish by 2, trying to get out of the 5th inning here with no runs coming across the plate. DeAndre Asbury-Heath stands broadly on second base. So now the 1-2. Here's the offering. Did he go? No, he did not. That'll improve the count to 2-2 and even things up. Very veteran umpire crew here for game 2 of this series. It's Ben Mercier behind the plate. Dave Phillips is on first base, and Jeff Rose, who's currently standing in the middle of the infield, is the third base umpire. 2-2 the count with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Jackfish lead 5-3. Fouled away right off the back of Wilson Soriano. Does a little jig, shakes it off, as he'll be set to go. Wilson Soriano batted .262 this season. Had back-to-back home runs in Toronto. That was his best game of the season. Went 4 for 6 with 2 home runs. Now the 2-2 with 2 outs. Pettipies is on deck. Needs to get contact here in the 5th. The offering upstairs, lets it go, 3-2. Fastball that just goes upstairs and gets away from Owen Boone. Action now in the bullpen for the London Majors. A lefty and a righty up and warming up. So now the 3-2. Boone the offering, runner going. That ball will pull foul, though. Right to Ricky Pelletieri, the third base coach. Three and two, deciding pitch on its way. Takes his time trying to find the perfect pitch to get Soriano. A shot that needs to get down. Will it get down? Yes, it will. DeAndre Asbury-Heath waved home. He will score. And it'll be an RBI double for Wilson Soriano. The Jackfish add another one. And now they're on top of the majors 6-3 here in the bottom of the fifth.
Third baseman number 4, Nolan Pettis.
An excellent hit and an excellent at-bat, Wilson Soriano. Able to fight off Owen Boone, and the Jackfish just gaining confidence every time they keep growing as batters. And I said it, 1 through 9, every single one of these batters. This is seen to be the batting order that has worked the best. Every one of these batters in the lineup tonight. Batting averages in the regular season. The lowest one was Vaughn Bryan, and he was an IBL All-Star last year in 2018. He batted .220 this season in his half season with the Welland Jackfish. That gets behind Mike Ambrose. Soriano, he'll just trot over to the third base, and now the Jackfish have Soriano on third, 2-out situation with a 2-0 count to Pettis. So the official score will go against a passed ball against Mike Ambrose, and that will allow Wilson Soriano to slide to third. So Soriano slides to third on the pass ball for Mike Ambrose. The 2-0. A shot, chopper on the ground. With speed is Pettis to first. Does he get there in time? Yes, he does. That scores another run. Jackfish tack on 2 more, and they regain that 4-run advantage. And they lead 7-3.
Second baseman number 13, Brendan Nicholson.
This is the hitting the Jackfish have not had all season long. It started to come later in the month of July, but if you can picture this hitting with the speed and the defense of the pitching this team had earlier in the season, this team would be right up there with Barrie and Kitchener. They've scored 7 now, 13 in this postseason so far. 13-6, the combined score between these two ball clubs so far through a game and a half. Boone right off the head of the batter, Brandon Nicholson. A pitch inside that goes right off the helmet of Nicholson. And you'd have to think Owen Boone's done might be coming to an end.
Right fielder number 5, Brendan Datson.
And look at this, as I mentioned this, that might be it. As Roop Chandernat will come out to talk. As we're looking at the bullpen, I don't see much movement. The ball will be handed over. That is it for Owen Boone. We will step aside. It's a call to the bullpen. Jackfish lead 7-3 as we are here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. This call to the bullpen is proudly presented by Rose City Pizza. Rose City Pizza, some of the best pizza in the Niagara region and definitely the best pizza here in Welland. Be sure to check them out just around the corner from the ballpark, not far from Niagara College as well. Rose City Pizza, official pizza provider of the Welland Jackfish. New pitcher into the ball game is Braden Farrington, number 39, the righty. So the right-handed reliever comes in, and he will face Brendan Datson. Runner on first and second. Those belong to the starter of Owen Boone. Boone went 4 2/3. He's given up 7 earned runs. As that one's fouled back, heads up right, almost into the press box again. So I've corrected 6 earned runs so far. As the runners are going for the Jackfish, that's a shot. That stays fair. That could score some runs. The Jackfish score 1 for sure. The second run will come across the plate. It's a 2-run RBI double for the Jackfish. Brendan Dadson. He does it again. A shot just stays fair down the left foul line, and the Jackfish lead 9-3. So those runs come in, belong to Owen Boone. And the Jackfish lead 9-3. So 4 runs in the 4th, 4 runs in the 5th for the Jackfish. And we're not done yet. Mattingly Romanen steps into the batter's box with Datson on second. You got to ask yourself, where was all this hitting earlier in the season? There's a shot, just a tad late. As that one off the light pole here at the stadium comes back into play. Nearly takes out a fan, but he'll take home the ball instead. The 0-2. Farrington against Romanen. There's a shot that gets down, goes to right field. The runner's waved around home. The throw at the plate not in time. Back to first, that's going to go well into the outfield. Romanen running around second. He could be running around home. He's waved home. Romanen, the play at the plate, not in time. Mattingly Romanen, an inside the Parker. The Jackfish all of a sudden blow this one up and they lead 11-3. What a turn of events as the London Majors, the wheels have just fallen off completely. And now they trail 11-3 only in the bottom half of the 5th. An awful throw from the infield to first baseman. It was well over the head of Josh Williams at first. Went all the way back to the right wall, deep in the corner of the outfield. And that allowed Mattingly Romanen to score from first. The Jackfish have put up 4 runs since the Majors have put up 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. They lead 11-3. Pulls that one foul. This is Bryce O'Farrell. The 0-2 with 2 outs. Felt like I've said that a lot in this inning. O'Farrell trying to keep it alive. Nobody on for the Jackfish here. Goes up against Farrington. Farrington pulls that one outside of the plate, and he offers his first ball. The count 1-2. O'Farrell has already have 1 single in the ball game. Takes that one outside, and he will even the count at 2. O'Farrell can get a lot of hits. He has such a natural swing. Just a youngster on this lineup, too. There's a shot off the end of the bat. We'll have a lot of hang time, though. It'll be caught by the center fielder. The Jackfish, though, put up 6. 11-3 Fish. The Jackfish well out in front here, going to the top of the 6th. It's 11-3 Jackfish. The Jackfish were able to score 11 runs in 3 innings. So Byron Reichstein will lead things off for the Majors. He goes against Matt Klinger-Smith. 0-2 count, nobody out. Shot foul, and that broke his bat. You can tell just by the sound of it. So Reichstein goes back to the dugout, gets a new bat. The Majors, of course, coming into this as the 5 seed, as the Jackfish finished the year with a 19-17 record. So the Majors finish in the 5th spot. The Jackfish, we thought earlier in the year, had a potential to easily take that 3rd spot, but then the Hamilton Cardinals turned it on with a major winning streak to end. Of course, the Hamilton Cardinals on top of the Guelph Royals in their series, 1-0 after winning 11-3 in Game 1. Little chopper check swing across to the first baseman in time for out number 1.
The catcher, number 32, Mike Ambrose.
One out for the Majors here. They trail by 8. Good off-speed pitch. Gets to the top corner of the plate. This is the catcher, Mike Ambrose. Little sinker that misses outside. Not a lot of action in the Jackfish bullpen as Klingersmith, one of those pitchers that can go quite a while. Has a lot of pitches he can utilize to help his arm and help him go a lot further into some ball games. Two and one with one out. Ambrose lets that one go. It's an upstairs pitch, 3-1. I mentioned Kristen Young expected to start for the Fish in Game 3. Now the 3-1. It's a high fly ball. Just chokes him up on the swing. DeAndre Asbury Heath. Hat comes off, but he's able to make the catch. And now the Jackfish retire the opening two batters here in the top of the sixth.
The first baseman, number 37, Josh Williams.
Two-out situation for Josh Williams. Williams was a part of that awful play, but he sends one right over the head of Matt Klingersmith. That awful play, of course, that saw Mattingly Romanen score all the way from first base on a throw that was intended for Williams at first, but it ended up going all the way to the corner in right field.
Third baseman, number 45, Evan Britt.
So Williams is aboard with a single right over the head of Williams, and I look way out in right field, and I'm talking several kilometers away. A nice big bolt of lightning. As some ownership and management up here trying to get me to stop talking about lightning, of course, as if we all recall Game 1. Curtis Person even throwing some chirps from the scorer's booth. Oh, 1 with two outs. Klingersmith. Check swing. That'll go out of play right behind home plate. A one bouncer into the glove of a fan. Now the 0-2. This is Evan Britt, the third baseman. You're the majors. You're trying to get something going early here. And if you can't, try to forget about this one and get set for Game 3 at home, as the next two games move back to London out west, as the Fish will travel down the 401. One and two with two outs. Williams, not a big lead off at first. A shot right to Soriano. The force out at second, and that will retire the side. 11-3 as we go to the bottom of the sixth. Jackfish up by 8 runs here in Game 2.
9 on Ryan.
The normal PA announcer of Ron Mahood not here tonight. And got to give a big shout out to Will Morrison, who's doing a fantastic job filling in. As Will Morrison has an 11-3 lead for the Fish on the mic tonight. As they come up to bat here in the bottom of the 6th. Von Bryant swings the first pitch. Trouble in the right field. He drops the ball. So Von Bryant, who's flied out twice already tonight, will get credited with getting on base on an error. An error called against the right fielder of Byron Reichstein. And as we just check once again with the official scoring team, Curtis Person, the head scorekeeper, has called that a hit. Blames it on the slippery grass. So Von Bryant gets credited with a hit and no error against the right fielder of Reichstein. Second strike falls behind 0-2. This is DeAndre Asbury Heath in the batter's box. He's 2 for 2 in the ballgame. 4 for 6 in this series. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Farrington has his first strikeout against the Jackfish tonight.
Designated hitter number 26, Andrew Mercier.
Now Andrew Mercier. Mercier has had a game tonight, and he's been a go-to hitter all season for the Jackfish. He's played the DH spot several times. As DeAndre Asbury Heath strikes out, he goes to 2 for 3 in tonight's ball game and slips to 4 for 7 against the majors in this series. Mercier this season batted .274. He's 0 for 3 in the ball game. Walked once. Strike 2. The throw into second, not in time, as it's bounced right in front of Artiega. So Artiega has that ball bounce right in front of him, unable to get the tag in time. So the 0-2 to Mercier with 1 out. Von Bryant slides into second. He's in scoring position now. The hit count 13-9 in favor of the Jackfish tonight. So back-to-back games, the Jackfish are able to get over 10 hits. So many games the regular season, they were well under 10. And I can count how many times, several times, the Jackfish. And now, right at Andrew Mercier. Not even close to the strike zone as Farrington pulls that one right at Andrew Mercier. I cannot see how that's a slip or a missed pitch. That pretty close to intentional, as that almost went behind Andrew Mercier, hitting him right in the side. So Mercier shakes that off. He's on first base, and now runner on first and second. And that one inside. Soriano gets backed off the plate as Farrington throwing it inside. And I talked about this series might go a little sideways. If you recall back that 12-9 game when the majors hit that 3-run blast in the 9th, it was Ambrose who had some words and some gestures towards the dugout of the Jackfish. They only play 5 times in the regular season, and they're about to play at least 4 within a week. So tensions could get high between these two ball clubs. Jackfish lead this one 11-3 though. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out with a runner on first and second. Soriano doesn't pull the trigger, lets it go down for a ball, 2-1. Soriano tonight's 1 for 2. Strike call. Soriano in game 1, 2 for 3 for the Fish. Now the 2-2. Pulled foul. Good off-speed pitch that got Soriano to make a choked up check swing. Both foul. 2-2, 1 out. Soriano with the dish, nourishing this 8-run advantage. A shot to Britt, to the second baseman. No throw to 2, as Yasuda thought he was barreled into by Andrew Mercier. But that'll be 2 outs. The Jackfish have runners in the corners. Runner on first and third for the Fish here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Another pitch inside that backs Pettipies off the dish. Pettipies batted .280 this season. Off the end of the bat, goes high, shallow right. In there to make the catch is Byron Reichstein. That will retire the side. The Jackfish put up no more runs in the 6th. It'll stay 11-3 going to the top of the 7th.
Center fielder number 13, Miles Miller.
So now Miles Miller will lead things off, the center fielder. The Majors not what they want to see here in the second game of this best-of-7 series. If you're a Jackfish fan, absolutely perfect. It's 11-3 in Game 2. The Jackfish lead the series 1-0. As the IBL playoff format, just like a traditional 8-team bracket, best-of-7 series, 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, 3 and 6, and 4 and 5. And this is the 4 versus 5 series. Jackfish the 4th seed with the home field advantage. So they will play, if they move on, the next highest seed. Top seed, of course, right now also winning their series. And the Barrie Baycats. The Baycats taking home the pennant in a 1-game playoff on Tuesday. Deep shot. That could get to the wall. DeAndre Asbury Heath, though, has a nice catch. Pretty tough ballpark to hit a home run in, and you pretty much have to hit it to the corners. Not too many batters I know, and I don't think anyone I've seen so far in the IBL has hit one straight away center. And that one was going right towards the Goliath Tech sign, nearly in center field. Yuki Yasuda now takes the opening pitch as a strike. Yasuda, the leadoff man. Pitch that gets away from Klingersmith, well away from him, and that will walk Yasuda.
The shortstop, number 97, Carlos Artiega.
Klingersmith normally has a lot of control, and that's one of his first we've seen all night. That is well outside, and he has some words with Yasuda, just apologizing, it looks like, as he knew that one got away. Apologized as he walked down the baseline. So now Carlos Artiega showed bunt, but pulls it back as the pitch is outside, ball one. Artiega tonight 1 for 3. Runner going. The throw to second, too high. And he'll get credited with a stolen base. That's the Major's second stolen base of the ball game. Two balls, no strikes, and one out. Majors with their backs against the wall here in game two. Artiega shows bunt, pulls it away again. Walking right towards the top of the batter's box. 3-0. Klingersmith tonight has thrown 95 pitches so far here in the top of the seventh. 35 balls, 60 strikes, and there is strike number 61. 3-1 with one out. I mentioned Klingersmith, a pitcher that likes to go the distance, likes to keep composure and control his defense. High fly ball. The catcher Romanin removes the mask. A tag team effort. Time is called as the out is recorded. Tag team effort there from Romanin and Klingersmith.
Left fielder number 29, Ismail Pena.
So now Ismail Pena, they have two outs in the top of the seventh. Pena lets the first pitch go. Strike one. Pena stands a little foot further back in the batter's box than most. Now the 0-1. Very similar pitch, but just misses a hair outside. 1-1. Now the 1-1 and two outs. A shot that gets pulled foul all the way deep to right field, so he'll fall behind in the count. 1-2. One and two with two outs here in the top of the seventh. Trying to find the pitch, and that was clearly Pena's spot where he was looking for it. Just pulled it a long way foul. Now the 1-2. That'll move the base runner. Won't really be a contest as it's a wild pitch well in the dirt and well before Mattingly Romanin's spot in the glove. So the runner on third base with a painkiller on the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pena's at the dish in a 2-out situation. 11-3 Jackfish. A night where the Jackfish have come together in the batter's box. They've been able to put a lot of hits on the board. Now the offering. High fly ball. That has potential for a fly ball to right field. Catch is made by Dadson for out number 3. We go to the 7th inning stretch.
All right,
Jackfish up to bat next in an 11-3 ball game. Valentine is the new pitcher to the ball game for the London Majors, the lefty. So that will take out Farrington. Third pitcher to the ball game. This is a Rose City Pizza call to the bullpen. Rose City Pizza, one of the tastiest pizza in Welland and the official pizza provider of the Welland Jackfish. Be sure to visit them on the corner of Clare and Woodlawn in Welland. 2 balls, no strikes. Valentine makes his first appearance in this postseason. First 3 pitches, 3 balls. Takes a strike, and now it's 3-1. Broken bat. Little blooper for out number 1 as Josh Williams is there for the catch. Third broken bat tonight. And we were talking about how broken bats are somewhat of a rarity. We haven't seen that many compared to the MLB or where pitches are coming a little bit quicker. Haven't seen as many broken bats as I expected, but 3 tonight. A play at first base, and it's a race, this time won by the London Majors. An excellent run by the pitcher, Brandon Valentine. So 2 up, 2 down for the Jackfish.
Catcher number 8, Mattingly Romanen.
And that'll bring up the catcher, Mattingly Romanen. So 2-out situation, 2 up, 2 down though for Brendan Valentine, the third pitcher in the ball game for the London Majors tonight. Owen Boone started, went 4 2/3, gave up 6 earned runs. 8, as he left 2 on base, and they both came in to score when Braden Farrington came in to pitch. So he allowed 8, and now it's 11-3 as Farrington gave up 3 runs and only 2 innings work. The 2-0 down there in the bottom corner for a strike, 2-1. A lot of baseball to be played here at Welland Stadium in the next coming weeks, as the Jackfish actually had some trouble getting the field for this game and for the IBL postseason, as there's 3 tournaments happening in a row on the 3 upcoming weekends. As I know, Scott Bullitt and his minor program runs a tournament and has a couple tournaments actually upcoming. There's a shot right under the glove of Valentine, and it'll be a base hit for Mattingly Romanen. So the Jackfish, the likelihood of playing on a Saturday game if needed at home was very improbable. And that's why the Jackfish had to play Tuesday and Thursday this week at home. So now Bryce O'Farrell will bat. Good base hit by Mattingly Romanen to get aboard. Can't take the foot off the gas, as you have to be able to continue to play for 9 innings of baseball. Got to get as many at-bats as possible. This is almost like an exhibition game now for the Jackfish. Got to get the base runners on the bases. Got to get a lot of at-hits. Got to get a lot of at-bats, rather. See a lot of different pitchers for the Majors. Strike called. 0-1. Jackfish and Majors go right back at it tomorrow. So if the Majors use a little more pitchers than they want to and get a few more people in the ball game than they needed to, advantage for the Jackfish, of course. Good block by Ambrose. The play safe, as Williams thought he had the tag, but a better play by Mattingly Romanen to dodge that one. Also, by the way, ESPN ate the Ocho Day yesterday on TSN as they showed dodgeball. As I'm being told by people up here, USA, the champions on ESPN ate the Ocho, including the Pizza Dough Aerobics, also took place, the Putt-Putt Championship. All the top-viewed events took place yesterday on TSN. Just 3 to name a few. Jack swing, did he go? No, he didn't. Ball anyways, 2-1. 2-out situation. The Majors trail the Jackfish in Game 2, 11-3. There's a shot. Good block. The throw to second in time for the out. So an excellent play by Carlos Arteaga. Able to block that one and send it over to second for the force out at 2. We've played 7 complete. It's 11-3 Jackfish. We'll go to the top of the 8th. Majors down to the last 2 innings, trailing by 8.
number 35, Cleveland Brownlee.
Cleveland Brownlee, the DH, will step in to lead things off for the Majors. The Majors trail the Jackfish 11-3. Swings the first pitch, sends it all the way to the top of the bridge in Welland. Comes down, but foul. A defensive substitution for the Jackfish will see Wilson Soriano come out of the ball game. And number 3, Granakawa, will step in to play short. So Soriano's night is done. They'll rest him for tomorrow as the Jackfish will continue this series against the Majors. 7:35 opening pitch tomorrow night at Labatt Park. Now the 0-1 against Cleveland Brownlee. Klinger Smith gets him to spin around and do a pirouette across the front of the plate. 0-2. The 0-2. Klinger Smith the offering. Took his time but missed outside. Now the 1-2. Gets away from Romanen. Two and two. Jackfish just trying to close out game 2 of this first quarterfinal series against the London Majors. Gets him to swing. Second strikeout of the ball game for Matt Klinger Smith.
Right fielder number 22, Byron Reichstein.
So now Byron Reichstein. 0 for 2 tonight. Has a walk, though. There's a shot. That'll get down in front of DeAndre Asbury Heath. And he'll be 1 for 3 in the ball game with a single up to center fielder DeAndre Asbury Heath.
The catcher, number 32, Mike Ambrose.
That brings up the catcher, Mike Ambrose. Runner on first for Mike Ambrose here as the Majors trail by 8 here in game 2. Ambrose will be followed by Josh Williams and then Evan Britt here in the top half of the 8th. Jackfish, of course, sitting on that comfortable lead. Matt Klinger Smith continues the pitch for the Jackfish. As I look, a lefty warming up in the bullpen for the Welland Jackfish. There's a shot. Foul ball called. As it looks to be Tyler Wood warming up at the bullpen for the Jackfish. So the lefty Tyler Wood warming up. As Matt Klinger Smith is approaching 110 pitches now tonight. He's given up 3 runs. It's an 11-3 Jackfish lead. Now the 1-1. 1 out, runner on first. Here's the offering. Good block, though, by Mattingly Romanen. Is that breaking ball missed in the dirt? Also, another successful Thirsty Thursday for the Welland Jackfish. As fans, of course, $3 beers until the end of the 3rd inning here on Thirsty Thursdays at the ballpark. Jackfish nourishing an 11-3 lead. There's a shot. Great play by the third baseman across Is it in time? Yes, it is. Great arm from Nolan Pettipiece. Pettipiece across the diamond to Bryce O'Farrell to get the out. And that's the second out of the 8th inning.
First baseman, number 37, Josh Williams.
Two-out situation. Pettipiece in this defense for the Jackfish putting on a show. Pitched inside, catches the inside part of the plate. Strike one. Now Josh Williams. Right past the umpire, the first base umpire, Dave Phillips, had to get out of the way of that one as it's pulled foul, and he falls behind in the count, 0-2. Great contact. Just sat back on the just waited for that one, just pulled it a tad foul. The power coming off the end of the bat of Williams, though. That would have scored. Ambrose at second. Swung on and missed. Strikeout number 3. And that will be the end of the top half of the 8th. Third strikeout for Matt Klinger-Smith. His night could be over as the Jackfish will go to the bottom of the 8th, up 11-3. You're watching Jackfish baseball and postseason ball on Jackfish TV.
Leading out the 8th inning for your Welland Jackfish, the left fielder, number 9, Vaughn Bryant.
Vaughn Bryant will start things off for the Welland Jackfish here in the bottom of the 8th. Here in game 2, we'll go up against Valentine as Valentine is back to start things off for the majors in the 8th inning. Game 3 tomorrow night at Labatt Park. Fastball offering, gets it off the end of the bat. Vaughn Bryant's got speed, the throw well off the base, and Vaughn Bryant's aboard with a leadoff single.
Center fielder, number 2,
DeAndre Asbury Heath will step into the batter's box and follow the leadoff single from Vaughn Bryant. couple of out-of-town updates. Kitchener and Toronto, 4-4. Barrie all over Brantford tonight, though, 12-2. Now the 0-1. DeAndre Asbury Heath going up against Valentine. Good off-speed pitch. Comes right across the plate at the end, 0-2. Owen Boone started things off tonight on the pitcher's mound for the London Majors. Only went 4 2/3. Gave up 8 runs. Then it was Braden Farrington, and now Brendan Valentine. Checks back at first. Vaughn Bryan's there. Vaughn Bryan had a night in left field, an excellent performance. Just that one little mishap when he slipped, trying to get a little jump in his step. Going after a ball, slipped and had a ball go right by him. Other than that, though, made a couple excellent defensive plays in the field. That'll get washed out, though, as the Jackfish lead 11-3 here. He's checked back at first quite a few times now with the 0-2 delivery. Off the end of the bat, that will get past the third baseman. Vaughn Bryan stays at second, and that'll move the runners to first and second. And the hit count keeps coming for the Jackfish tonight. So new batter coming into the ball game for the Jackfish will be Nate Mastervik. So Mastervik will come in replace of Andrew Mercier. So now Soriano out of the ball game. He was replaced by Granakawa, and now Andrew Mercier is taken out. And this is Nate Mastervik. Mastervik lets the first one go upstairs. Ball 1. Runner on first and second. Nobody out here in the bottom half of the 8th. Jackfish already up by 8. That pitch downstairs inside, 2-0. Lefty against lefty here, as this is Mastervik at the dish in replace of Andrew Mercier. Good offering. 2-1. Pop up, that'll go into the stands. Narrowly missing a fan. Everyone's okay though, ball is picked up. Now 2-2 count. Mastervik going against Valentine. Has Vaughn Bryan at second. DeAndre Asbury Heath is on first. The 2-2 pitch in the dirt. Good block from Mike Ambrose. Just a frustrating night for Major fans tonight, as it was the 4th, 5th, and 6th inning that did it for the Fish. They were able to score 1 in that 4th, 1 at 4 and then 6. 3 consecutive innings where the Jackfish were able to score 11 runs combined. Now the 3-2. Mastervik gets a lot of power on it. Sends it quite high though. Catch is made. And that'll keep Vaughn Bryan at second, and DeAndre Asbury Heath will stay at first. Right now, be sure to click the subscribe button to the Welland Jackfish TV. Hit that bell while you're watching the game and stay up to date with everything Jackfish. You never know when the postseason editions of Jackfish Behind the Scales come at you. All based on postseason schedules, of course. First pitch, 0-1. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and of course Twitter. Stay up to date with everything Welland Jackfish. Visit us at www.wellandjackfish.com. High fly ball could go into the press box again. Plinko down, and a catch is made. Fantastic grab by someone in 106. Got to give a shout out to our friends in section 308 as well. Still out enjoying the beautiful weather here in Welland, watching the ball game. They're enjoying an 11-3 Jackfish lead tonight here in Game 2. Jackfish will head west tomorrow for Game 3 when they take on the Majors. 7:35 opening pitch. You can catch it on Majors TV. That game from Labatt Park. Swung on, and that'll be strike 3 as Jackfish Okawa strikes out.
Third baseman, number 4, Nolan Pettipies.
So now the bottom of the order, Nolan Pettipies. First pitch missed for a ball, 1-0. One 1-0 with 2 outs. Runners are still Von Bryan at second. DeAndre Asbury Heath is on first. 2 outs, though, here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Pettipies lets it go, 2-0. The Jackfish have had the bases loaded 2 times tonight, and they cashed in on both of those opportunities. That was in the 4th and 5th inning, where the 4th they put up 4 runs, and the 5th they put up 6. Right down the middle, strike 1. The Majors, though, not a bad outing at the plate themselves. They've just been unable to keep the Jackfish off the board. Already over 10 hits in the ballgame tonight for the Majors. 3-1 count, 2 away. Valentine trying to keep the Jackfish off the board and get out of this inning. That'll walk Nolan Pettipies as that one's at his feet again. Bases are loaded for the Jackfish for the 3rd time tonight.
Second baseman, number 13, Brendan Nicholson.
So the top of the order, Brandon Nicholson will hit with the bases loaded for the Fish. Strike 1. Sets in. Here's the pitch. Misses. And now the 1-1. 1-1 with 2 outs. Time is called as a ball comes in from the London Majors bullpen. Off the end of the bat. Playable ball. Josh Williams. Acrobatic play, gets it and makes the catch. That will retire the side. The Jackfish leave the bases loaded. It's an 11-3 lead, though. We'll go to the top of the 9th inning. Jackfish go in with an 8-run advantage. Top of the ninth we go, and the Majors trail the Jackfish 11-3 here in Game 2 of this best-of-7 quarterfinal series in the race for the Dominico Cup. If you're just joining us, the Jackfish and the Majors played Tuesday night. The Jackfish won that ball game 6-3, and now they're up 11-3 here in Game 2. New pitcher to the ball game for the Jackfish is Tyler Wood, which means Matt Klingersmith's night is over. Klingersmith went 8 complete innings, gave up 3 earned runs, struck out 3 batters, and allowed 10 hits. The third baseman, a throw to the first baseman in time. Great arm once again by Nolan Pettipiece. Pettipiece over to O'Farrell for out number 1. One out. And that brings up Miles Miller. Pitch upstairs, misses. Now the 1-0. Right to the second baseman. Soft throw, but it's in time for out number 2. 2 outs, and the Jackfish are 1 out away from improving to 2-0 in the season, 2-0 in this series. The Majors down to their final out, and it's the top of the order, Yuki Yasuda. Takes it outside, ball 1. Pop up, this could be the ball game. Catch is made, Jackfish win. Final score, 11-3. Once again, the final score, the Jackfish 11 and the Majors 3. The Jackfish go up 2-0 and will head to London tomorrow night for Game 3. On behalf of everyone with the Jackfish, I'm Spencer Tangway. We thank you for watching tonight's ball game. Final score 11-3. Be sure to join us tomorrow night. You can catch the game on Majors TV as the Jackfish head to London up 2-0. On behalf of everyone, we'll see you in London tomorrow night. And a reminder, go Jackfish.